Hey, what's happening, Nooch?
Fish, it's game week. You ready?
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It happened quick this year.
It did. It wasn't a bad, that tends to happen when your baseball team goes all the way to the very last game of the season.
Right. That does help a
There's a
lot.
shorter gap between the seasons.
Correct.
So
Correct.
works. I love it when that happens, man.
Yes, we should do that every year.
I agree. Hey, do you want to take football this past weekend?
Very, very little. I attempted to watch some of the K-State Iowa State game, but the field was sloppy and it just was not, it wasn't a pretty game to watch when I had it on, so I didn't watch much of it.
I didn't watch any of that one, but I watched a little bit of the Hawaii game, Hawaii and Stanford that evening. Uh, see how that one
Yeah.
ended?
No, I saw the most of the second quarter, I guess. I saw the comeback. Well, Stanford had kind of jumped out early, and Hawaii came back to take a lead late in the half. And then I fell asleep during halftime because
So um, I thought it was cool because all this talk about the portal, the transfer portal, and NIL and revenue sharing, and some dude from Japan who taught himself how to place kick by watching YouTube videos walked it off with a 38-yard field goal.
that's nice.
Yeah,
If there's any position in football you could do something like that, I would think kicker's got to be. That's pretty much it.
probably so. We're going to talk about kickers tonight. So last week we talked about the offense and
Oh,
the defense.
not
And
to interrupt you, but something very important. Boom.
God, took a little trip, did you?
I did not take a trip. My wife took a trip, and she came home with these.
It's a good woman.
Hmm.
I got some
Very.
of those too, but this is my last purple haze. But I do have some amber. All right. So last week we talked about offense and defense,
Yes.
and it took a little longer than I expected, but I really shouldn't. I should have expected it to because we have a lot of
A
those transfers
lot of new faces.
and a lot of new faces, new starters. Um, One I'm gonna circle back to and talk about, and that is number 18, Garrett Nussmeier.
I like that.
I like it too.
I like it. I think it's a good pick. I mean, I mean, how often does a fifth year senior, can you say it's not just a fifth year senior, but a fifth year at the school he initially signed with coming out of high school? It's extremely rare these days. He's had plenty of chances to transfer. Most kids would have, and he didn't. He stuck it out, and now he's listed. I mean, he's here. It's his show. He's listed as a potential first round pick. He's listed on Heisman boards. You know,
He's listed as a potential first overall pick.
yeah, and as a potential Heisman favorite. So
Yeah,
absolutely, he's the guy, and this team will go however far he takes us. So
that's a fact. That's a
it's
fact. I
his.
know you've been super busy, but I've been following the practice reports. Brian Kelly is fantastic about letting letting the media in. Now listen, they're not in for the whole practice, okay? But he
Right.
lets them in. All right, guys, you're in here for 20, 30 minutes, whatever, and then get out. And I'm sure they don't show everything they got, but it's still pretty cool,
Yeah,
and it puts a lot of things to bed. You remember a couple of weeks back, I'm sure you heard, oh, it's possible he had his leg amputated
yeah, I did hear about the
and whatnot,
amputation.
just, and then, Brian Kelly's like, hey guys, next day, why don't y'all come into practice? Yeah, you had patella tendonitis, but yeah, y'all come to practice tomorrow. And he's out there running around throwing, got a sleeve on it, and not a big deal.
Right.
And it kind of, I like it because it gives you some, Les Miles would tell you that, yeah, PJ Lonergan, he's
He's got
nicked,
a foot.
he's got a foot, whatever, and then next thing
Yeah.
you know, he's no longer playing football. He's out. And
Right.
but with Brian Kelly, he seems to be pretty forthcoming with it. I'm sure he hides what he can, but he doesn't
Yeah,
try
I
too hard to
mean,
hide.
he's a guy like, look at just last year with Hilton. Yeah, he's coming back maybe this week, maybe this week. So he does keep some things to
I
himself.
bet you every week he thought there was a possibility though.
He may have.
Considering what the injury was, it was like a high ankle or something. Anyway, yeah, Garrett Nussmeier is wearing number 18. I'm happy about it, in particular because the last quarterback that wore the number 18 won a national championship for LSU. So how about that?
Did. So,
There's that. In case you're wondering, there is no other number 18. It's just the one. Same
and that's how it
thing.
should be.
Harold Perkins is number 7. He was number 7 last year. He never relinquished it. He's back. He's number 7.
Yeah,
So that was easy. All
very
right.
much.
So we did not get to special teams last week. Let's go ahead and get a couple of the familiar faces out of the way. Um, Aaron Burrell, kickoff specialist extraordinaire,
Yeah,
unreturnable unless he wants you to return it.
right. Touchbacks
Um,
every single time that he wants to kick a touchback.
he has been kicking some long field goals in fall practice. We know Ramos is he is what he is. He's very accurate, around an 80% kicker.
Yeah, I've heard he added a couple yards to his
And he
length.
did also add a couple of yards, yes.
So
But he doesn't have the Aaron Burrell leg. So I guess if we're down uh 2 points or 3 points to Alabama with a second left in the game and we're sitting around the 50, we're not trotting Ramos out there. We're trotting Burrell out there. Or maybe we're throwing it to Trey Green from the 50. I don't
yeah, I'm thinking if we're at the 50, we're throwing and not kicking anyway. I mean, that would be
know.
Jesus. If we snap from the 50, that's a 67 yarder. Not even Cade York could have did that.
Yeah, I think Aaron Burrell's got more leg than Cade York, but
Uh,
I don't know how accurate it is, but anyway, Cade York, I think he is back in the NFL though.
I
Uh,
think so. I'm not sure. I don't follow the
I don't
NFL.
follow him
Couldn't tell
either.
you.
Anyway, Aaron Burrell is your kickoff specialist. Damian Ramos, we mentioned him, 80% guy. People remember the ones you miss.
Of course.
I think he kind of gets a bad rep like any kicker does that misses kicks, but pretty freaking solid kicker. Can't complain about him.
Yeah, he gets the rap, but I can recall a couple of them that he missed last year that, and again, I'm not a kicker, not a holder, long snapper. I've done none of those three positions. But Brian Kelly on a couple of the big key misses didn't put the blame on Ramos. It was something with the timing or with the hold. There was something in the entire mechanism that screwed up, and it wasn't just shank the kick.
We're going to talk about that mechanism too.
Okay.
Um, Although I couldn't tell you who the long snapper is. His last name's probably Ferguson. I don't know.
I was going to ask if it was.
I do believe uh shit, it's either Colin Hurley or Michael Van Buren is the holder.
Makes sense.
Or
I mean,
maybe it's a punter. Maybe it's Bauer Sharp. I don't know. It's a quarterback of some kind. And Bauer Sharp
yeah.
used to play quarterback. Anyway, um that's we're talking about the mechanism, and I don't know what the mechanism is there between snapper and holder. I just know the kickers, but I know the returners. We talked about it last week. LSU has got speed out the yin yang.
Yeah, so is it official who we're going to use in that role? Because we got like 12 of them.
I mean, I would say we got three that are most likely, and one of them, I'll go ahead and get this out of the way. Xavier Thomas. I think Xavier Thomas is going to return punts. I don't think that's in question.
Okay.
Now, when you get to kickoff, you usually got two guys back there.
Yeah.
We got a guy named Aaron Anderson coming back. Feel good about Aaron Anderson.
Yes.
Uh, he housed one last year. Um, and then you got a guy by the name of Barry and Brown. And I looked it up just to check because I've been hearing this spouted off, and I'm like, I better fact check this. 5 kickoff returns for touchdown
In his career or
in
just
his
last year?
career at Kentucky. One his
Okay.
freshman year, 3 his sophomore year, 1 last year, and now he's at LSU.
Gotcha. So
Fast as floof.
let's
He's
see.
not the fastest guy on the team, but he's fast. He's bad fast. Xavier Thomas, what I love about him, and Aaron Anderson to a degree as well, is Aaron Anderson's pretty fast. Xavier Thomas is pretty fast, but
Yeah.
they are shifty. Barryon Brown is the kind that he hits a seam and he's just gone. You're not catching him, you know. I don't think they're going to put Chris Hilton back there. He's probably faster than Barryon Brown, but I've never seen him
Yeah, but
return kicks.
right.
Um,
So I just pulled it up last year at least. Brown finished third in the SEC in kickoff return yards. Average per return, not total yards.
okay. And I know he house them.
Xavier Thomas finished second in the SEC.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
pretty
so
good.
you're not unseating Xavier Thomas, but I think he's just going to be punt returns primarily because you can't argue with
Hmm.
five. Has LSU ever had anybody in their career return five kickoff returns for touchdowns?
Kickoffs, I'm gonna say no.
Dude, there was a long time where, I mean, a long time, just
Where we
very
didn't,
recently.
yeah, where we didn't do any at home.
Yeah,
We had a few
none.
road.
Yeah,
Um,
Trenton Holiday.
Brendan Holiday had a couple that were both on the road.
Yeah,
Uh, Trying to think of someone else. Fournette had one in a bowl
won
game.
that in a bowl game. Yeah,
Trey Palmer had one at home, and I think his other returns were all on
Trey
punts.
Palmer's the one that broke it. You're right. He's the
Yeah,
one that broke that streak. That streak was for like 40, 50 years. It was stupid.
it
Was it
was.
Danny Dennison?
It wasn't that many. It was because Eric Martin did it, so it would have been early '80s. Would have
Okay,
been the last time
until
it
the
was done.
early 20s. That's 40 years.
Yeah,
Sorry, dude, you're that old.
well, you said 50. It definitely
I
wasn't
said
50.
40, 50, but
Okay, it wasn't
it's in
50.
between.
Yeah, so it was a very long number. We had quite a few, like I said, on the road, we had a few
Let's put it this way.
some
I'm
good punt
old
returns.
and I went to LSU a good bit after Eric Martin graduated. Just saying. Eric
You
Martin
mean
was playing
before?
for the Saints when I was at LSU.
Yeah, I want to say it would have been probably like 81, 82, somewhere around there would have been when Martin did it.
He
And then,
might not have still been playing for the Saints when when I was at LSU then.
yeah, he still would have been with the Saints when you were at LSU. That would have been pretty much his middle of his prime with the Saints.
All right. Well, this is a long time ago. That's what I know. Been a
Yes.
long time since I've been at LSU.
Oh,
And
yeah. Yes, it
he
has.
was there before, long before I was. So I said we're going to talk about the mechanism, and then I don't know who the holder and the snapper are. But
Sports.
that's not the mechanism I was talking about. You know what LSU has been lacking since Brian Kelly's been here?
Uh, well, you brought it up to
Besides
me in a
opening
text.
wins?
Yeah, well, you brought it up to me in a text, so obviously I know where you're going with this. Special teams coach.
Yeah, special teams coach. I don't know if you read my text. You don't pay
Uh,
attention generally.
and
Special
and
teams
actually, you
coach.
see, so we did have a special teams coach his first year. He was just terrible. That was
He was
Polian.
uh he was not a special teams coach, dude. He was a recruiting coordinator,
Okay, we
whatever,
had a
slash
person
that's
with the
kind of like
title.
the guy that was your English teacher if you played or if you went to John Curtis like I did, your English teacher, but really he was the coach.
That was all the teachers in public school
Okay.
saying it was all football coaches.
Well,
So
they were all okay, so all the teachers in public school also taught coach football. At
yes.
Curtis, they were football coaches that also taught classes. It's a little backwards.
Well, I'm gonna say this. At public school, they were all glorified PE guys, but you could only have, one or two PE teachers, so they gave them other classes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what Brian Polian was.
Gotcha.
He was also special teams coach.
Right. He
Um,
had the title. He may not have
yeah,
been one, but he had the
but
title.
we got one now, and he's experienced. Aman Anan, I think is his name. And from reports, and again, we're getting tons of reports. If you watch, I'll just freaking mention them. If you watch AYS or listen to Moscona or listen
Try
to
not to.
check out On Three or Rivals, which On Three is Rivals or 247 or whoever you pay attention to, they're all talking about how crazy organized all of a sudden special teams is.
Good. It did.
And how they're actually being coached. And it's not an afterthought. It's Brian Kelly even mentioned in the press conference, which is funny because I've heard Brian Kelly mention in press conference and said he didn't think punt returns were that important. Now,
They
he
can
said it
do
during 2023, and I said it too, because just fair catch it, Greg Clayton, and hand the ball to Jaden Daniels, because we're going to score. That was my
right.
theory, and you and I didn't see eye to eye on that, but I mean, it worked out. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for the defense. And so that's what Brian Kelly was talking about is we need to learn to flip the field with our feet, is how he put it. So that means kicking, yeah, with our feet. And we got a punter we're going to talk about that can do that.
Yeah.
But it also means catching the ball and running with our feet. Which he did that last year. He let it go last year. And Xavier Thomas was a great punt returner. Aaron Anderson returned a couple of punts as well. All right. So with that said, punter. Peyton Todd, I hated he just didn't work out. A Louisiana kid, and he came in highly regarded. Boy, my lights just went out or
Yeah,
something.
you just got dark. You got
But
dark. Man,
it's
pay your light bill.
no, it's the thing in front of me just died. But I just rolled it up. But anyway, he didn't work out. Punting was terrible last year.
Hmm.
And so LSU, hey, while we're out here spending however many millions in the transfer portal, grab us a punter. And so we did. We got Grant Chadwick from Middle Tennessee State. Now, oh, Middle Tennessee State. Well, hey, he's not a
Punting's
running
punting.
back. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. He's a punter. It doesn't matter
Punting's
who he
punting.
played against. You can punt or you can't. And he was great at Tennessee State. And from all accounts, he's capable of flipping the field um, here at LSU. So looking forward. Don't want to punt, but if we have to, I'm looking forward to flipping the field.
Right.
What are you looking up? You're looking up something.
Yeah, what conference is Middle Tennessee State in?
I don't know.
Me either. Are they Sun Belt?
G5. Who cares? Doesn't
Well,
matter. He's a punter.
well, I
We're
know
not
that.
getting a running back or a left tackle to come from Middle Tennessee State.
I get that. I was just gonna try to see how many yards he averaged per punt last year was all.
44-ish.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot more than I think we averaged under 40. Pretty bad. Grant Chadwick. Um, so that pretty much covers special teams. Special teams should be vastly improved. Honestly, guys, I don't know for a fact of any whole side of the ball that is not going to be improved. Although offense was pretty good.
Our offense was good last year.
It was pretty good. But I don't think we did not have the receiver core that we have this year. Absolutely, we did not. And we mainly threw the ball.
Right.
So, which I said last week, that might be why we didn't run the ball very well, is because we didn't try hard enough. But this year we have Chris Hilton full health. We have Trades Green with a year under his belt. We have Aaron Anderson back. We have Xavier Thomas back. Now let's get to Barry and Brown. Let's get the Bauer Sharp has completely shown out in practice.
Yeah.
No, he's not going to supplant Trades Green. He's going to be out there with it. And Trades Green, Brian Kelly said in a press conference the other day, even when he's covered, he's not covered.
No, not at that size.
He's
You're
six
never
seven,
covered at that
240,
size.
245. He's not covered. He's not, just because there's another tight end doesn't mean he's not coming out on the field.
Right.
We have Nick Anderson. We have dudes. We have dudes at wide receiver. We have Kyle Parker is back. I mentioned this to you in a text.
He gets forgotten a lot, but he was
Yeah,
solid.
they do. Xavier Thomas gets
Yeah.
forgotten. And I'm telling you, don't sleep on him. He's been raved about from these dudes. And that's not Brian Kelly that I've heard that from. It's all of the guys that are covering practices talking about Xavier Thomas. I mean, they're talking about Chris Hilton. They think Chris Hilton's number one. Um, Barry and Brown's going to be hard to keep off the field.
Good.
But Xavier Thomas, don't sleep on him. But yeah, Kyle Parker. We got a guy named Jelani Watkins. Probably not going to play a lot because he's a freshman. But he's the fastest dude out. He's faster than Chris Hilton and Barry and Brown.
Nice.
You know, probably the fastest guy, literally the fastest guy in college football. He's a track guy. Yeah, I don't know of a side of the ball that is worse than last year. What I do know is there is a unit, a particular unit, that is a bigger question mark than it was last year, and that's the offensive line.
Yes.
Now, we talked about this a little bit last week because we did cover the offense and the defense last week. But I finally heard somebody, one of the radio guys, say, you know, we've raved about this defensive line. And the bottom line is nobody is questioning whether or not they're going to be great. So is that maybe why your offensive line hasn't been perfect?
Could be.
I mean, iron sharpens iron. That's all you can say about that. And we're going to find out
Few
Saturday.
days.
We're going to find out Saturday night. So LSU opens up on the road to Clemson. Fun stuff, right?
Oh yeah. Bring it.
I
Um, obviously it's a year in advance, but I'm assuming with the 9 game schedule starting next year, we're not going to lose the Clemson game, are they? Like they're not going to take
I
that
don't
away.
think so. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
no,
yeah.
I think they're flipping that around.
Okay, good.
Um, I'm just kind of going through the notes. Oh, I know one thing I failed to mention in the special teams thing. We're talking about all them transfers. Guys, this team is so deep with serious talent from top to bottom in almost all positions, except for, I guess, offensive line. But, I don't see a lot of offensive linemen out there playing special teams. So, other than the long snapper, but he's not out there on offense.
Right.
So, you're gonna have some dudes out there on special teams. You remember 2011, man? You remember Ron
Yeah.
Brooks and Tyrann Mathieu and even
Jarvis
Jarvis
Landry.
Landry. Oh my God, just murdering people out there. That's what I'm looking forward to out of special teams. I almost forgot to mention that because it's kind of something you don't think about. You think of individuals, but
Yeah.
special teams is going
That
to
was a
be
yeah.
huge.
That was probably our best year ever for special teams was 2011. They were solid all the way around,
I mean, think about
everywhere.
look at your punter. Your
Yeah.
punter's out there getting penalty, getting touchdowns called back for taunting. Shut up.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so we got dudes all over the field, and we ought to be kicking ass in special teams this year. I want to talk about who stood out in camp before we get to Clemson. Who have you heard about? I know you, like I said, I know you've been super busy, but you've heard
Yeah.
things. You got your ear
Yeah.
to the ground a little bit, huh?
Um, as far as Clemson's concerned, I
No,
know.
no, us.
Oh, uh,
Who
man,
stood
look,
out?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I really haven't followed anything yet. I'm looking forward to being surprised Saturday.
You're gonna be surprised, I think,
Sit
in a
back
good
and
way.
watch
I hope
and
it's in
and
a good
see.
way. I hope I don't hype it up
Yeah.
too much for you.
Um, I'm curious to see how Caden Durham looks. I'm pretty sure he'll be the go-to guy. Nuss being Nuss. I want to see. I want to see what he is now.
I
He's
want to see him
maybe
protected.
well, obviously, yes. But Nuss is like we talked about. He's that fifth-year guy. His dad's a head coach. I want to see the progression, and I'm really confident that he's probably made a huge jump. Now I'm ready to just see it. I want to watch it. He's not saying that he'll make the type of jump that Burrow did, because well, he's starting much further along than what Burrow did by
Yeah,
year 5. If so, watch out. The entire record book is going to be rewritten if he makes that kind of jump. But
right, right, right.
I mean, because Nuss doesn't need that big of a jump. He just has small things that need to be tweaked, and he's a Heisman guy. So,
I'll say this, and this was something I heard from one of the guys that reports in on practice. Last year, they tallied it up. He had 13 interceptions in fall camp. You know how
yeah,
many he had this year?
I mean, yeah, that's good.
You know who got him?
DJ Pickett,
No, no,
really? Okay. Well, who'd Pickett pick in that one that I saw?
not probably Michael Van
Somebody else.
Buren.
Okay.
Um, number 7,
Okay.
Harold Perkins baited him,
Nice.
which is good. That I'm happy to hear that because I'm rooting for him too. But yeah, who stood out in camp to me, from what I've heard, you got all these transfer edge rush defensive end guys. You got
Yeah.
Jack Pyburn, who stood out in camp also. You got Patrick Payton. I said something last week, and I underrepresented this dude. He came in with 38 career tackles for loss. I said like 20. It's 38.
38. That's a good number.
38 tackles for loss. And some of them were against LSU. You know what else? Some of them were against Clemson. By the way,
Okay.
he came from Florida State. Gave us fits. Him and Jared Verse, and we finally said let's block Jared Verse, and then Patrick Payton took over. Uh, that was rough. Now he's on our side. You got those guys, um, but you've also got this guy named Gabe Relaford. Remember him?
Sure do.
Yeah. They went out and got all these edge rushers, and Gabe Relaford, you know what? Bullshit. You're not taking
Yeah,
my
it's my
spot.
spot.
This
Yeah.
is my spot. And
Gotta take it.
I would I was gonna say I wouldn't be shocked if he starts. I would actually be shocked if he doesn't start at DE or edge for the Clemson game. I would be shocked.
Okay.
Um, Now, with that said, they're gonna rotate him in and out. They're all gonna play. Jamari Butler, another transfer from Nebraska. Jack Pyburn's gonna play a lot. Patrick Payton's gonna play a lot. But Gabe Relaford, so far in camp, he's the dude that's getting the press.
Good.
Barry and Brown, number two. I texted this to you. It's criminal negligence out of Kentucky's coaching staff, Mark Stoops, that he wasn't a household name. Criminal negligence.
Hmm. I mean, it's Kentucky, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, so, Jared Lorenzen was at Kentucky.
Well, yeah, but if Jared Lorenzen didn't weigh 700 pounds, would people even honestly
Tim
know
Couch
who
was
he
at
was?
Kentucky.
Yeah, true. I'll give you the Tim Couch one.
I mean,
But
Xavier Thomas,
I
my
mean,
number
Tim,
three.
okay.
He's my number three. He's slept on. We talked about it a little while ago, but he's been
Yeah.
unreal in camp, and he's going to be featured in the run game a little bit. That's something else we didn't mention last week that I meant to. We talked about we have talent, but we're thin. We have Xavier Thomas. We have him too, and we have Jawan Johnson, which we
Yeah.
also forgot to mention. Um, so there's those two guys, but I'm talking about guys that stood out in camp. Xavier Thomas. He's a baller, and I think he's still going to be the punt returner.
Good. I'm good with that.
Here's one you're gonna like. The safeties.
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
safeties. The
Addition,
safeties.
addition by subtraction
Yeah, I like that.
and addition.
In addition. But yeah. Yeah, you don't have Major Burns, which Major Burns was really your star last year. Last year, safety was Jordan Gilbert, and we're going to talk about him. I kind of feel bad for him. Jordan Gilbert and Sage Ryan.
Yeah.
And now you got AJ Halsey, who I told you he may kill somebody this year.
Hmm.
And then you got Cooley, who we talked about last year, pulled over and helped a lady on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Cooley, the only thing I will say about AJ Halsey is, like I said, he may kill somebody this year, um, but he's better in the run game than he is in the pass game. Now, I like a safety that'll come up and pop somebody though, and they
Of
said he's
course.
been laying the lumber in practice. Like they had to tell him to, hey, dial it back, bro. These guys are on your team. Let's try to keep us all healthy.
I mean, look, and honestly, you only got to issue a few of those early season, and then as the years go by, your opponents start hearing footsteps before you even get to them, and
For
it
real, for real.
makes a difference.
Yeah,
Uh,
so that's the name I think you're gonna like is AJ Halsey.
okay.
Uh, and number five, I'm gonna say Ashton Stamps and PJ Woodland. Now, I do not think that PJ Woodland's gonna start at cornerback. I think,
Okay.
in fact, I know Mansour Delane is definitely starting at one cornerback spot. We paid a lot of money to get him to come do that, so he's gonna come do that. Um, with that said, Ashton Stamps is looking like the other guy, and I gave him up as my man crush.
Don't worry. Pickett's going to take one of those spots soon.
I think Pickett is going to play a lot. I don't think he's not going to be starting the Clemson game. I don't think. I don't think.
That's why I said
Um,
soon. I'd say in week one.
I think he's going to play a lot. And then I'm wondering what they're going to do with linebackers because we got, Witt and West, and everybody's, oh, don't forget Harold Perkins. Harold Perkins is playing star, y'all. He is not
Right.
playing linebacker. He's playing star where he should have been playing last year,
Yes.
and where he really
And
did play the year before.
actually he did
He
play
did
his
play there
last
until he
game
got
whenever he
hurt.
got hurt.
Yeah, but nonetheless, um, your linebackers right now, we're pretty deep there.
Yeah.
People say, well, what about Devon Keys? He played well last year. He did. He played well, subbing uh, West Weeks, who was injured, and
Yeah.
people forget that. And they're like,
Let's
oh,
say
well, they're
we're
just playing West Weeks so he can play with us. But no, they're playing him because he was the number two guy last year.
yeah. We're deep at with linebackers named Weeks.
Fact. But I'm wondering what happens when it's time to go nickel. I'm
Hmm.
thinking that's when DJ Pickett steps on the field and maybe Ashton Stamps or Mansour Delane goes to nickel.
Yeah. And I mean, shit, be honest, if you think about it, in today's pass happy game, Nichols almost becoming a base defense these
It
days.
is. That's why I say he's going to play. He's going to play plenty early. PJ Woodland, don't sleep on him though. He's so small, but man, he's looked great in
Yeah.
camp. He's much
Well,
improved.
like we said last year, he had moments last season.
Mhm.
Uh, it's not there consistently yet, but he definitely had his moments.
We're pretty short on time again. We already talked about Nuss, so I'm not going to mention it again. But Nuss has looked great in camp, y'all. Nuss is really good.
Yeah,
Um, I want to talk about Clemson a little bit, and I know you haven't done much research on LSU, so I'm assuming you haven't done much on Clemson.
absolutely none.
All right.
I'm pretty
So
sure
you ever heard of
Dabo's
Cade
still there.
Klubnik?
I've heard of him, and I believe Dabo's still their coach, and I
Yep.
can tell you
That's about all you need to know.
that's all
No,
I'll
they
tell you
got
about
a they got a trio of wide receivers. We got six or eight. They got a trio though, and they're legit. They are extremely talented at wide receiver. And Cade Klubnik had 39 touchdowns last year with six interceptions. That's pretty
it.
freaking good.
Well,
And
we'll,
he's got legs too. He's not Jaden Daniels. He's not Joe Burrow in the passing department, but he's more of a runner like Joe Burrow.
right.
But he's
Steady, solid,
solid.
makes the right decisions, good running.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He's solid. He's probably it's either him or Garrett that are favored for the Heisman. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
They have a
And
very
we get to
veteran,
see it week one.
yeah. You got a very veteran offensive line. Um, Now with that said, their starting running back has a total of four, not starts, carries in his
Oh,
career. Converted wide receiver. They had a running back. They really didn't have much of a running game. But they did have one good running back, and he's out. He's hurt.
okay.
He's probably out for the season. So they're kind of screwed there. Their defensive line is getting all the praise, all the praise. But here, I did a little searching because I'm like, how good are these guys? And individually, they're good. Individually, they have some standouts. Probably going to be a couple of number one draft picks,
Okay.
first round draft picks. However, what I learned is last year they sucked at stopping the run. Like they were close to 100.
Okay.
And so they must have just terrorized quarterbacks, right? And one more sack than LSU did.
Hmm. Okay.
So I don't know as a unit that they're all that, but they're getting a lot of hype. Um, my bold prediction, I texted this to you, is our DL is going to stomp some ass in this game. And they're going to
Good.
come out of this game saying LSU's DL. Now, I don't know if we're going to win, because Clemson's a good team. And
Of
LSU
course.
has question marks. I'm sure Clemson does too. I just told you they had a running back with four carries. I'm sure. Now they're playing at home. We're on the road. And I wanted to point that out. It sucks that Brian Kelly's not won a single uh, opener. But you know what? He's
Yeah.
never done? He's never played one in Tiger Stadium.
True.
and the dude is 19-2 in Tiger Stadium.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen, LSU's going on the road playing a top five team, first game of the season with an entirely new offensive line and a team that has not been together much, except
Right.
through spring. And luckily, we had spring with almost all of them, and then fall practice. If LSU loses this game, y'all, unless they just get their asses stomped, the season is not over if LSU loses this game.
No, not at all.
How many teams make the playoffs now? Eight?
Too many? 12.
12 this year?
It was 12 last year.
Oh, shit. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it was
I thought it was
12.
eight for some reason.
No, there
12.
was there
So,
was there was 12, and this year the committee is already whatever metric it is they use for strength of schedule is going to weigh heavier than what it has in years
okay.
past
So look at
officially.
LSU's schedule, and there's a point I was going to make there. You lose this game, unless you just get blown the hell out, and even then, it's the first game of the season.
Right.
We play Alabama, Oklahoma, Florida, Texas A&M, Ole
And
Miss.
and again, this is non-conference.
Yeah, it's
You run your
non-conference.
you run your SEC slate, you're SEC champs, and you're in the playoffs.
LSU has a tough schedule, but it is pretty manageable. It is pretty manageable, and people will say, "Oh yeah, but you got Alabama on the road." Have
Ah,
y'all
dude,
ever
we play.
watched LSU? Have y'all in the last 50 years have you watched an LSU Alabama game? Where does LSU not win most of the time?
Baton Rouge. Trust me, I've been in that stadium for quite a few of those.
Yeah, but where they do pretty damn well is in Bryant-Dennehy Stadium. So
Yes.
that I'm not worried about that. So LSU's lost five straight openers. I get it. Clemson has lost their last two by a combined score of 62-10.
Oof.
Did you know that? Nobody's talking about that.
No.
Nobody's talking about that. Duke was one of those teams, y'all. Duke was
Yeah,
one of
see,
those
see,
teams.
we don't have a Duke loss in our
No,
openers.
we never got our asses kicked by Duke.
No,
So,
never.
the bottom line is we're going to put our uniforms on. I'm about 195% positive we're going to be wearing white
Yeah, I would assume so.
with gold helmets.
Yeah,
And
probably not purple pants.
no, 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 not purple pants. They're going to be white. And we're going to go out there in Clemson, South Carolina. Nice place, by the way. I don't know if you
Never
ever
been.
visited South Carolina. I'm two
I've
thumbs up. South Carolina, two thumbs up.
I've driven a few times, and I hung out in Myrtle Beach for a really weird weekend, but that's the only
Sounds
time I
fun.
ever spent in South Carolina.
I like South Carolina.
I will
If I
say
didn't
this.
want to live on the Gulf Coast, I'd probably want to live in South Carolina.
I've passed through a few times. Every single time, the entire state, every road was under construction. Every interstate, every
Oh,
highway
oh.
was completely under
I like
construction.
that in West Texas because it damn sure is over here. Anyway,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
anyway, um, and we're going to tee the ball up. I imagine if we win the toss, knowing Brian Kelly, he's going to say, "Let's take the ball,"
Yes,
whatever,
he will.
and we're gonna play football, and I'm gonna be happy about that.
Exactly.
And we're gonna find out what these LSU Tigers are made of.
Yeah, we'll learn some things. We'll see. And then a week from now, we'll discuss a little bit of everything. I'm sure there'll be some good, some bad, some really bad, maybe some really great. We'll see.
I'm going to assume that Nootch is going to start a game topic at
Yes, I
GameDayTigers.com, and
will.
we are going to be in the chat room in a minute.
Sure.
We're going to be enjoying the football game. Y'all come join us at GameDayTigers.com. Go Tigers.
Go
Go
Tigers.
LSU Tigers.
Correct. Good point.
Y'all have a good one.